Welcome to Focus on the Niger Delta. This is a program dedicated to uncovering stories, challenges, and triumphs of the Niger Delta region, which is fueling the Nigeria's economy. Yes, the Niger Delta remains one of Nigeria's most resourceful yet most challenged regions in Nigeria, from leadership and governance to issues to underdevelopment and security threats. The Niger Delta region has suffered a whole lot, and we will be discussing on this episode of Focus on the Niger Delta. We will be focusing on GbaramatuVoice reporters sharing their first-hand experiences in the field in the Niger Delta. Yes, so to do justice to this, we will be introducing some of our team members. But before that, I would like you to share, like, comment on all our social media platforms. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at GbaramatuVoiceTV and drop a comment, and also turn on your notification button so you will be the first to know when we come alive. Yes, and what would like you to also drop your comment in the comment section to get involved, because we will be talking about the biggest challenge facing the Niger Delta region, from leadership to governance and security issues. So joining us in this discussion today, we have...
All right. My name is Bersolo, a presenter at GbaramatuVoiceTV.
Yes, my name is Asiaye MD Naimbo, the cultural journalist managing editor of GbaramatuVoiceTV International. Thank you very much for joining us.
And my name is Faith Madogwe, a reporter in GbaramatuVoiceTV.
Thank you. And my name is Honorio Debikawe, an engineer in GbaramatuVoiceTV.
My name is Precious Ejimi, a presenter here at GbaramatuVoiceTV.
Yes, of course. My name is Ojumiri Chairman, a reporter and a photojournalist, GbaramatuVoice.
Yes, thank you very much. I am Sheriff David Diefriye, a presenter here in GbaramatuVoiceTV. Thank you.
Hello, and I'm Joel Gosgift Fafiawe, a reporter here in GbaramatuVoice International.
I'm Doyenga Karinade, a reporter here at GbaramatuVoice.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, you've heard from our team. We'll be discussing on the biggest challenge facing the Niger Delta region, ranging from leadership to security issues. Yes, so we'll be going right into the discussion now, and I would like you to drop your comments in the comment section to get involved and participate in the topic for today. So quickly, we will be asking one of our team members here to tell us share your experiences in covering stories in the Niger Delta, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Agogo. I know a very special experience in GbaramatuVoice. I've been a journalist over the years, and I know by August, GbaramatuVoice will be a decade. And being from the beginning, from the cradle of GbaramatuVoice from inception, my experience is a lot of stories to share. And if we start those experiences, starting from how we started and how we traveled to the creeks and gathering news and the detections, and from the beginning, when you start something, you know, what you experience is not sometimes not palatable at all. Sometimes when GbaramatuVoice, as we started, we go to the field and people were looking at GbaramatuVoice. What are you doing there? What can you do? You know, this kind of denigrations and something that is not even encouraging. But as time goes on, that aspect of it is no longer, because our consistent and persistent, resilient spirit in telling the Niger Delta story, because we will not allow people to tell our own story. We must be consistent in telling our own story. That's when people will know that there are people in the region. That is why from the formation, the GbaramatuVoice formation by Mr. Jacob Abai, the CEO and publisher who has deemed it fit that there is a vision. That vision is to tell our story. You must experience a lot of things. People denigrate you, people reject you, people will look at what you are doing is not professional and you are just doing copy and paste, all those kind of things. That was the first phase of it. But today, the narrative have changed because of consistency. No, going back from looking at the experience, what we see in various field engagement, traveling and covering stories in the Niger Delta region is very difficult and challenging. You travel by boat sometime in the night. You traveled sometime where boat stops, you take canoes. Where canoe stops, you use leg to trek to that communities to tell stories. So there are a lot of challenging, a lot of things that will put you on the, okay, I must be, our voice will be heard. And today, our voices are being heard everywhere. So if we start to narrate our experiences and all of it, some experiences are not to be shared in public, because if you share
palatable, I guess.
if you share them in public, people will say, Mr. Naibu, you still keep this word, because people, when we were printing newspapers, GbaramatuVoice was on print. Yes. We take these newspapers free to people. Please have this newspaper. This is our story. What are you? It's the kind of. But today
the story has changed.
Just like the African people in the time when they were denigrated, when African writers become conscious of the African story, and now the European people started looking at it. Yes, Africa have a story. Now the Niger Delta have a story.
Have a story.
So GbaramatuVoice taking the story.
Voice taking the story to the world.
If I want to share experience, it's a very long tale, like JP Clerk or Jiggy Zaga. So I will be very brief so that other can share. But one very good thing about the experience is that GbaramatuVoice started from cradle, like a dot, and of a 9 voice experience, and let's others.
But we will come back to that.
Yes.
We will. So thank you so much, sir. Yes, moving forward, Miss Faith, I would also like you to share your experiences in the region covering most of this story. As a lady, yes, we'd like to hear your experience.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. It's been a real sweet ride. Yes, there are challenges. I will choose to talk more of the advantages, one of the sweet moments, or more of the sweet moments. Mr. Enaibo has said more of the challenges.
Okay.
As well.
Right.
So I think one of the sweet moments as a reporter in Gbaramatu TV is getting to tell your stories, telling our stories ourselves. Nobody can tell it better us.
Than you.
Because if you observe most of the media that are not from Niger Delta, when they tell our stories, they don't really...
It's not as definite as we tell our stories.
They don't tell it accurately. But when we telling our stories, we tell it the way it is. Going far into the creeks, into the villages, the Niger Delta, where other medias cannot go. We go deep down, no matter the challenges. We go, we get stories, we get stories from the villagers, their cries. We report them live and direct. And as a lady, I would say mostly it's favorable, because most times, as a reporter in GbaramatuVoice covering the Niger Delta, most communities we go, they give respect to the ladies.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Faith, for giving us those advantages, yes, regarding reporting in the Niger Delta as a reporter of GbaramatuVoice. Yes, moving forward, we will be talking to Mr. Onos. Welcome again. So we would like you to tell us your challenges or your experience as a staff, yes, of a GbaramatuVoice. Yes, just share your experience.
Yeah, I want to say, my name is Onoride Ebikawe, and I want to say one of the experience I've noticed as a staff in GbaramatuVoice TV, just like our brother here in Naibu have said, GbaramatuVoice is telling the story of Niger Delta. Like we have always been saying, it's only we that can tell our story. Nobody can tell our story for us. We have tried in the past. A lot of people have said a lot of things about the Niger Delta. They've said, in fact, some of the people will say we are militants. Some will say we are not educated. Some will say, in fact, there was a time I went to Lagos. There was a time I went to Lagos, and we were just discussing somewhere. Somebody said, Are you from? I say I'm from Wari. So I Wari, Wafirian. The first thing that comes to their mind when they hear that we are from Niger Delta is we are militants. But by God's grace, Baramatu Voice has come to, like Baramatu Voice said, that they are the voice to the Niger Delta. They are our voice. Now they are narrating. They are telling the story. They are telling the world our true nature. That we are not militants. We are educated people. We are strong people. Because one of the reasons why people see us as militants, as arrogant people, because we don't like when we are being marginalized. We don't like when we are being oppressed. So by the time when you want to oppress us and we react, they will now say, oh, we are now this. No, we are not. Thank God Baramatu Voice is telling our story. And I believe some other people can say air their own view. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Onos, for that. Yes, so I'll be moving quickly to the lady by my left, by name Miss Best Olowo. So we would like you to tell us the challenges in the Niger Delta region you have encountered as a reporter.
All right, okay. All right, quickly, I think I'll be drifting a bit. Now, talking about development gap in the Niger Delta region, infrastructure, facilities, and all of that. Now, going a bit deeper, now we have various Niger Delta states. Now we have River State, we have Delta State, we have Bayelsa States, counting beyond. Now, talking about Ondo State, now we have a oil-producing community in Ondo State. Yes. Which is the Ilaje community. Well, I'm actually from Ilaje local government area, but keeping that aside, I'm talking more about it. Now, Ilaje is like one of the major oil-producing community in Ondo State, but Ondo State has been marginalized. Now, we have several oil-producing states. We have the Delta, the Bayelsa, the Rivers.
Yes.
But now, even Edo State, Akwa Ibom, and all of that. Now, Ondo State, in larger community, as an oil-producing community,
I think I have objection to that. What I'm looking at is that we are looking at the experience and not the problems that is in peculiar to a community or a region.
Okay.
When we come into that, I think so.
Yes, I'm actually going to talk about that.
She's giving us her experience as a reporter, and she's coming to that.
Now, this is what I've seen in these communities. Talking about when I went to Elijah community and all of that. Poor road, poor infrastructure. There are no good roads. There are no infrastructure. In fact, for like years, they've not been electricity and all of that. So, as a reporter that I've gone there severally, to report issues concerning those areas, these are the things that I've seen, and it has been an issue to the people, residing.
Best. Let me tell you something. When you talked about share your experience, as a reporter, you talk about your experience you gathered in Baramatu Voice, not to talk about issues in the community. We have, when you look at it, it's a very structured activity that we're going to talk about things one after the other. Right. Now you are sharing the experience. Yes, what experience have I gained? Yes, I've been to communities and how we were being treated and how I feel about it. And when we go to that aspect of it, I think the moderator will look into that aspect of it, so that we will not take.
I actually talked about her challenges facing the Niger Delta region as a reporter, and she felt those are the challenges.
If you are talking about what is facing the Niger Delta as a challenge,
region,
it's a different thing. If what is facing as a reporter is a different ball game. So look at it from the perspective of, is it what is facing the Niger Delta region as a challenge, or what is facing an individual as a reporter?
Okay. All right. So we will go to challenges in the Niger Delta region. So moving forward, I would like you to please tell us your challenges as just tell us your position and the challenges you encounter in the Niger Delta region doing your job.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Doyenga Karinade, and I'm a reporter here at Baramatu Voice. So one of the challenges we face then one of the biggest challenges facing in the Niger Delta is the challenge of environmental pollution. And that is very evident. I don't think this is the first time you'll be hearing it. It's been long overdue. It's been going on for years. I mean, 5 years counting, 10 years counting. Environmental pollution in the Niger Delta is something that it is no news to anybody. So as a reporter here at Baramatu Voice, we're privileged to go to the creeks. We're privileged to travel to different villages, through water. And traveling to those villages, you will see a lot of water pollution, some being caused by very big oil companies. And these are water that, the Anijo man is known for his fishing skills or her fishing skills.
Okay, I think I'll cut you
okay.
there. No.
Yes.
Can you tell us
your own personal? We'll come to it.
Okay.
As a reporter reporting for Baramatu Voice.
So my personal challenges as a reporter reporting for Baramatu Voice, I would say it's quite let me say insecurity. When the way we see when we are driving past and you see checkpoints, police checkpoints, and maybe FRSC, VIO, we don't get that in the waterways at all. We don't see checkpoints, so it's a bit. So you can be scared.
Is it more like all man to himself?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
In the creek, it's like all man to himself.
Okay.
So when you are going from one community to another, and you are in a 1 hour boat drive, and you're not like somebody can just bring their boats, and you understand. So there's lack
what are
of
you saying? What you are saying that they should deploy police or the armies to all the waterways? Is that what you are saying?
No, that's
when Niger Delta people are saying that all the military that is there without doing any work should go back to their base. Is that your challenge?
I'm not saying they should go back to their base. I'm saying they are not seen most times.
Because most time when we travel on the waterways, those army checkpoints that are asking us to raise up our hands where there is no war. Is that what you want?
No, that's not obviously what I want.
So tell us your challenge.
No,
because
yes, because you don't know who is who.
Yes,
you obviously don't know is who. You don't.
Protected.
Yes, because you can't tell me I'm going on a 2 hour boat ride to another community, and as a reporter, I'm not being safe in the waterway. I'm not saying you should stop me and say, "Oh, raise up your hand."
But that was what was common, because they have already described,
like
there was a time where they were deploying military troops, Operation Crocodile and all of it on the waterways.
Yes.
That has even caused a lot of issues to the Niger Delta people, because where our mothers that were going to their various markets were raising up their hands. If you go to, for instance, now there is a point there in Bekabo, Aziz. People were raising up their hands. And you go to Kwagbe. Now, what I saw is that military people were even, because they were deployed for security, they were even collecting money from small local boats. Today, as we speak, go to the market.
That's
on
lack
market
of
day.
discipline.
So,
that's
if you are talking about security,
that's lack of discipline. Insecurity is insecurity. Insecurity is insecurity. That's lack of discipline. Total lack of discipline. Insecurity is insecurity. You can't tell me I'll be on a 3 hours water drive and I'm not safe enough to say, there's nobody checking. You don't know people. You don't know who is coming with another boat to come and harass you. There are so many stories being told of kidnapping in the waterways.
We'll talk about.
So that's lack of discipline for
We'll
each
talk about
officer.
it. There is a new shift in the Niger Delta. We'll talk about that.
But
there is
that's
a new
lack
shift.
of what you are talking about is lack of indiscipline.
Thank
Yes.
you so much. Thank you so
There's
much.
a difference between insecurity and lack of indiscipline.
And if you say that is your challenge,
I think
it's
you're
okay.
trying to say on your part as a reporter, you need to be more secured, and that is your challenge as a reporter. Yes, and that's also valid. And on the other hand, I think GM is trying to say that rather we're even complaining that the harassment is too much on the
If
part
you said
of the security
because
personnel.
on the long way,
But
sometimes
we'll
we
find a
travel
way
without
around
a
it.
life jacket,
Okay.
and you take that one as one of the challenges to you, that the people should have, government should have a major life jacket as it is to monitor. I think I will buy that,
Okay,
but
thank
deploying
you
military
so much.
people
Thank
to
you.
all those
Thank
places
you.
has been in the past. And Niger Delta people are not requesting for that
But
kind of
if kidnapping keeps
militarization.
going on in the
moving
waterway,
forward.
No,
Okay.
there is no kidnapping in the waterways. There's no kidnapping
We
in
will
the
get to
waterways.
that.
We'll get
Please,
to that.
we will
We'll discuss
get
the
to that.
issues one after the
Okay,
other.
we'll get to that. So we are still talking about challenges that reporters face in the course of doing their job in the Niger Delta region. So now moving forward, we will be talking to you. Please tell us your experience and the challenges you encounter doing your job as a reporter.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Agogo, for this privilege. As a reporter with Baramatu Voice, I believe as humans, when we go to report stories in interior villages and places that are not really civilized, one of the biggest challenges we face is that sometimes when you go to certain places, you will never see food to buy. And we ask them, why is the reason why people didn't cook? When you tell them, why is there no food? The first thing some of them will mention is that there are no fishes in the water for us to use. And one of the things that will come to mind is that why that complaint persists, the excuse will be that when maybe oil companies are carrying out their oil explorations, you will see that the water will be polluted, fishes are dying everywhere. So even those that are taking fishing as their own form of career can't find anything to do, so they will return back empty. And as a result, as a journalist going to those areas to report about the challenges and difficulties and probably the development that they are facing, you be having problem with how to feed. And secondly, water. When you go to certain places, you can't even find ordinary sachet water, pure water. So the best you can see are maybe even waters from the well, or maybe water that they fetch from some rivers that they want you to drink. So,
which are not so healthy for consumption.
And that is very dangerous for our personal health. So as a journalist, feeding and bad waterways in the rural areas has become a major challenge to reporting our news in the Niger Delta.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for spotting those challenges. Yes. And we will agree that talking about the waters, talking about food and all of that. And now, you as a reporter, you are just like a visitor. Now, what then happens to the people living in these communities without having good access to water and proper food? Thank you so much, sir, for that. Now, moving forward, we will be talking to Mr. David. So we want you to tell us your challenges, your experiences doing your job in the Niger Delta region as a reporter.
Yeah, so thank you very much. And I also appreciate Gbaramatu Voice for giving us the platform to air our opinion on the challenges that we're facing in the Niger Delta region. So now, one of the challenges we're facing as a reporter in the Niger Delta region, most of the times we used to have issues with what we call network, internet connection. So that's the problem that most of these communities in the Niger Delta region used to face. As a reporter, most of the times when we are deployed to a community for us to carry out our investigation, maybe as an investigative journalist, for us to like source for the problems that these people that are facing in that region. Most of the time, when we gather all these reports, when we gather all this when we gather our report, most of the time we find it hard for us to upload them online instantly. That is a very major challenge. Most of the time, we wait for us to get down to the island, for us to get down to the land where there's network, for us to upload all those things. And it's not supposed to be so. Initially, as a reporter, most of the times when you get your reports, you're supposed to upload this immediately for people to know what's happening. Not for us to just delay the news till when we get to the land.
News is immediate.
Yes, it's immediate. And
yes.
you give it to the people hot and fresh, hot and so they need these people as it's hot, as they hot. And you go give the people.
All right.
But now for the way it is now, so in this Niger Delta
Yes.
region, we lack what we call network. There's no
Okay.
network. When you talk about MTN, Airtel, Glo, we lack it in this Niger Delta region. So that's one of the challenges that reporters face. So now we need what we call network. So we need to gather our reports to be able to give it to the people instantly.
Yes.
So that's what I just have to say.
Thank
That's
you
one of our
so
challenge
much, Mr.
as a
David,
reporter.
for stating that fact. And as a matter of fact, this is a challenge I think we all are currently facing. Imagine, like you said, you need to post a story immediately and you're unable to do that because of network. I think this is a wake-up call to network providers, MTN, Glo, Airtel. This is a wake-up call. Do something about it. I'm sure you can do something about that. And it's also for the benefit of the community and, of course, to also grow your brand. Thank you so much for that. Now, moving forward, we will be talking to Mr. Ojumiri. We want you to share your experiences as a reporter of Gbaramatu Voice in the Niger Delta region. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Agogo. First, I want to appreciate Baramatu Voice for the opportunity given to me and also my colleagues. But firstly, I want to say something, what we usually face as a reporter. Most time when we are going out for field work, there is something mostly I observe as a photojournalist. Like you cover a big event that governor attend. It's like the way the military people are doing is very, very challenging at all. Why am I saying this? Because when you look at the way when the event, you have, let me say, most crowd, and you observe that you need to get a shot that, usually in this Gbaramatu Voice, we don't snap pictures like photographers. We use our pictures to tell a story. So whatever picture that we snapped, it tells a story. So for example, now the governor wants to have an handshake with the speaker. And instantly when the governor is going there, you will observe that the governor's security will now block you, that you cannot get that shot. In a situation like that, if you don't have the ethics of journalism, you might have a conflict with the security man. And that is why in our work, we put a professionalism so that for you to have a conflict with a military person, it is applied that you cannot have such issue with a security person in field work. So I want to also use this medium to express mostly one of the things that we face in field work. When we are going for field work, you will observe that it's very key that you should get to the event before the event start properly. But getting to the event ground, you will observe that when the governors come, the crowd is very much. But when you get there, like the day when we covered this, the former governor Manda's service of song, something happened inside the church when they asked all the medias that no media should climb the altar. And as a journalist, we obeyed the rules. But they couldn't. At the end, before we left the place, like the place that they were snapping the picture, we observed that the governor and the former speaker, the former deputy governor, have a group picture. Getting to the picture, we observed that the security people there couldn't allow some certain journalists to get that shot. That is also difficult as a journalist.
Excuse me, Chairman Jumari, there is a call for concern that there's this rampant security display mostly when big politicians are in a party. The security is more than the people in the party, thereby causing harassment to journalists. I think journalists are there. Without the journalists, no story will be told on the TV. All the politicians will go back to their house and watch the TV or what happened.
Yes.
But why harassing the journalists on the field? This is a concern.
Yes.
Because, for instance, we went to when the High Chief Dr. Ike Clark died. We went to the compound for the tribute where different governors, and we find out that the security, DSS is more than 50. Police is more than 50. More than even the community people. So what is the essence? You come to a place as a government officials, strategic places, people will stand and others will do their work. Why taking the whole military to a particular place that you want to go and pay a condolence visit? And you take the whole police as if there is, the whole military as if there is a war. It is a great concern to a journalist. Sometimes we have been deprived for taking pictures. At the end of the day, they will call for, do you have this capture? What? Tell your military to give you
but you deprived us from taking those shots. All right. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Ojumiri, for highlighting some of the challenges journalists face doing their job. Yes, talking about accessibility, trying to get a picture that is telling a story. And in journalism, we say a picture tells a story more than 1,000 words. Now, being unable to get those pictures, it's not a good one. So I believe that there are people who are also listening to us who will also do the needful going forward as dignitaries. Thank you so much. Now, the last person here to share her experience on the field regarding doing her job as a reporter in the Niger Delta region is Miss Precious. So please quickly tell us.
Okay, my name is Precious, and some of the challenges that I face as a reporter would be language barriers. There are some communities that you go to, and if you're not from the same locality as them, it's often very difficult to communicate with those people. So that is a very, very major barrier. And also, gaining the trust of said people in communities, because most people, they don't trust people that they just meet. So that is also a major challenge, just getting around to gaining their trust and getting them to open up to talk to you because you're a reporter. So yeah, those are like some of the major challenges that I face as a reporter.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Precious talked about language barriers, yes, which is a major issue too as a reporter in the Niger Delta region, because some persons, they just take you as a stranger, and for that, they won't be able to reveal so much they're expected to reveal to you. Thank you so much for that.
And
But,
sometimes briefly, sometimes because what happened, the issue Precious raised is very key. Sometimes not because of trust, because some persons could not express themselves of how they want to express those things that affect them.
Okay.
You cannot go and meet an aged woman who is fetching water from a well
And
that is very dirty. Mama,
Queen's English.
They will tell you that maybe game Zoom. They will be using their local language. Yes. What happens is that somebody who understands the language become friendly with that person. Oh, this is our brother coming to tell our stories.
Yes.
But one other thing that is very common with some of the job communities, some places that I've seen, where you go, they will feel that you are coming to betray them or sell them off, or some leaders have sent you to come and collect, to betray. So they will tell you that I don't talk to people, I don't talk. Well, okay, and even when you want to talk to them, will you pay me? Those are some of the issues that is biting. You must pay before you talk. If not, I will not talk. Some others will just start to feel that they want to use our head to make money. There was a case that we went to interview somebody on issues, all the age women. Somebody was coming, Mama, they won't use your head to make money, not talk.
All right.
So it's become an issue.
All
so
right.
we want others to
Yes,
express
thank you
themselves.
so much for that. But yeah, we will also be asking some of our men that are behind the scenes to also come and share their experiences with us, talking about their experiences, the face and the challenges and in the course of doing their job in the Niger Delta region as journalists and reporters. So we have one of our team members here who will share his story. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay.
All I stand. Okay, I think I can just stand here. Okay, my name is Freeborn Bernard. I'm a mobile cinematographer and a video editor. And I've been in GbaramatuVoice for 2 years now. And GbaramatuVoice is one of the leading newspapers in Niger Delta and telling the story of the people in a very local way. Going straight to the main issues, not looking for their personal interest. And for the 2 years I've been in GbaramatuVoice, I've learned a lot, from writing stories and even using reels to tell stories. Like, you can watch a 1 minute, 30 seconds video and you see a lot of detailed information about an event. It's more than content creation, actually. So that is one aspect I've learned. And also going to the creeks to go and record. I've learned that there are so many uncovered stories in the creek. There are so many stories in the creek that people really don't know about. But why, like in my journey, going to cover some stories, we see some things that people don't usually take note of, which is about the rich heritage of the Niger Delta when it comes to those our cultural activities. Going to cover those things, and also the livelihood of the people there. Fishing is a very lucrative business, and it should not be underrated, despite the fact that they are using local ways to do their fishing and stuff like that. And these people there, they have a lot of stories to tell. If you can really pay attention to what they are saying, you are going to get good stories. And most of the time, those newspapers from other places, they really don't go deep into our stories more. They like really deviating. And also, I want to also use this medium to talk to more people about the Niger Delta region, that if you really pay attention, there are a lot of things that we can really learn from the Niger Delta region, like concerning the locality of the place. There are a lot of people to talk to. There are so many stories that we can really get from, aside from the normal ideology that they have about the Niger Delta people, that they are militant and all that. If you really pay attention, there are a lot of good stories. There are a lot of things to, take advantage of. I think I'll...
Okay, yes, thank you so much. So we have one more person from behind the scene who will be telling us the experiences and challenges as a journalist reporter for the Gbaramatu Voice, talking about Mr. Toby. So please come, Mr. Toby, so please come quickly and tell us your challenges you encounter.
I think we'll look at Miss Peace.
Okay, Miss Peace, Monday.
Quickly,
okay, please come.
yeah.
The lady behind the camera, a pretty lady who doesn't like being on the camera. Yes, this is an opportunity. Sorry.
All right, my name is Peace Monday, and I'm a photojournalist in Gbaramatu Voice. One of the challenges we face on field work is when we are working in the field, we'll be very busy, and before we finish our work, maybe the food, everything is finished.
Food.
Then we'll go back.
Very important.
Yes. Then when we finish our work, then we'll like, we've not eaten, we'll go and meet caterer. Some of the caterers are very aggressive. Where have you been since? As in, very aggressive.
They will even
And
go and tell you to go and sit down before they will give you. Knowing that you are working, no, they will say, go and sit down.
They will say, where have you been? Have I not given you people food? Gbaramatu Voice, I've given you people, maybe they gave only one person in the team. They will say, I've given Gbaramatu Voice people's food now. Go. Then they will end up going back home with empty stomach and all that. Then one of the challenges we face is, like,
they used
for
to
me,
conk you.
No. No.
Because there was a time one bouncer was trying to, bounce on your head. And I told the bouncer that, don't you see this is a woman? Why can't you just take care of her and snap this picture of the couple?
Yeah, the bouncer was like that I should not go near there, that I should go back. I was like, so I want to snap these people. See, this is an important picture for me. So I wanted to snap the picture. Then GM came to my rescue that day. So when I went for Egbema trip, we went around different communities in Egbema. So one of the challenges I faced in that trip was the road, the stress from one community to another is very, very bad. Some of the communities are fighting, so we cannot go there. So we were like hearing different kind of news that if we pass there, no, it's only thing we want to see, no, that we should not go there, we should not do that. So the security level that Egbema area as is something else to me. So we could not go to some of the community when we get there.
I think, Peace, thank you very much. Let me add to it, because another thing that I was expecting also is accommodation. Sometimes because they know us, they feel that we are from the place and we can manage ourselves without finding accommodation for us. At the end of the day, we started struggling with our cameras on the field, and you keep your batteries. Before you know, another cameraman will come and pick it up. So accommodation is another very good, challenging aspect of is covering. If you, for instance, you contacted Gbaramatu Voice, the first thing you should look into accommodation, logistics. You move us to the place, provide where we will stay, keep our things, lock it up, and go to the field to work. It's very, very important.
Yes, okay, thank you so much. So, Miss Peace talked about food. Yes, so I think this is, in fact, we're calling out all caterers now. See, you people should do the needful. Come on. Everybody who came for the event, they came for a purpose to make it a success. Talk from the DJs to the MCs and then to the photographers and the photojournalists who are covering the story. So, this is a call out. Yes, now Ketra you be, you not be God. So do the needful. Yes,
Now,
thank
maybe,
you.
maybe now only faith fees they never give, but they have been giving also. The ones
Okay,
that,
so could it be that they are
have been
looking
given to
at
us, we'll
faces
also talk
anyway?
about them.
All right, thank you so much. So before we round up, yes,
You know what? From what Mr. David said about the accommodation issue and all of that. Yes, it has been a very big issue on us. Personally, if we are going for a field work, there are males, there are females. Most times, it really poses insecurity on we females, especially. Most times, sleeping at night, maybe you are done with night works and all of that. Now, the men can actually, find their way, sleep anywhere. But most times, we females,
anywhere,
the men can,
we
they can
sleep well.
sleep anywhere.
That anywhere we will go to somewhere. They have hired women as
females,
well.
it is
No, it's not like
imposing a
that.
serious
What we are talking about,
So,
provide
no,
accommodation.
I'm talking
If it
about
is five
myself.
men, if it is 5 men, provide for the 5, then the women. That is how it is.
I'm
So don't
just
feel
trying
that,
to say that
because we
my
find
own
ourselves on top
personal
of shit.
experience. Now you guys can, look for a way around it. But I'm talking about my own experience. As a female, it is very important for us to get a safe place. After work to
For all
stay
of
and all
us,
of
not
that.
just-
I'm not talking about you now. I'm talking about my own personal experience. I don't care.
You know
Thank
women,
you.
they will always talk in favor of themselves.
Thank you so much. You've heard it all from our team members sharing their experiences in the course of doing their job as reporters and photojournalists doing their job in the Niger Delta region. Now, moving forward, we will be talking about the challenges in the Niger Delta region. What we talked about before is challenges that reporters encounter in the course of doing the job. So now we will be delving into challenges in the Niger Delta regions that we as reporters have seen. Yeah, so we will be coming quickly to you, sir. What do you think are some of the challenges that we encounter, that the Niger Delta region encounter? Yes, we'd like you to share some of them.
To me, the first thing I will look at is leadership. Then when we talk about leadership, talk about look at the contemporary issue that is currently on in Rivers State, causing a lot of issues, is leadership. Godfatherism, and those who don't have godfathers are not moving forward. Those who have anybody, maybe for instance, now you are bright, you want to contest for election in the community or from your ward. If you don't have godfather, there is no help, no matter how bright you are. So leadership is built in a way of godfatherism. The tussles in Rivers State is a very clear example. It's not just only because it's happening in Rivers State, and Rivers State is the highest in terms of godfatherism and leadership challenges. We look at Niger Delta people. Everybody is trying to create. There is what we refer as combo bebe, who take the highest, continue to take the highest, and that leadership from the political class down to the community. There are people that will say, if I become this, if I become that, at the end of the day, they become House of Assembly members. You see them nowhere. The same problems that they encountered, that they were making noise, they still get there, the same problem. So Niger Delta, when you look at it, leadership, it starts with our families down to the community, from the community to the local government, from the local government to the state, from the state to the federal. Let us look inward. How do we build younger people? How do we build people who are bright to come into leadership position that will be all-inclusive? Because you cannot feel that because your brother is the governor, so every other person that is not loyal to you is not making headways. Leadership doesn't move that way. You look at what impact you can create. That leadership is first thing I could talk about. Then when you look at it again, is environmental issues. Environmental issues affect the Niger Delta, if not because of the intervention or the coming of Tantita security services, the waterways, like what Karinanda Doyenga was talking about, environmental pollutions. Yes, environmental pollutions were very, very high in time past when the Niger Delta people were agitating for resource control and better opportunities before the presidential amnesty program. There was a high level of environmental pollution, go to every communities, bunkering, fire, crude oil everywhere. You can see the armies everywhere, including, they are securing the waterway, the government infrastructure, at the same time causing havoc there with the people. Everywhere is being polluted. You cannot travel from Warri to, for instance, in Gbaramatu, and you will not see crude oil everywhere. But today now, that narrative have changed. And we also experience that issue of kidnapping and sea pirate. You know, I did a research work in the Niger Delta for quite some time now. I work with UODC, United States Crimes and Drugs. I found out that at that time, around 2016, 2017, 18, downward, there was a high level of sea pirate. You cannot go to the creek with your, for instance, now you're a market woman, going back to Bayelsa State or Agoro Aziz. Forget it. High level. But today now, what I see, Tantita came, engaged people, talked to those persons that were involved in activities of sea piracy, engage them in opportunities, and now you can travel from here to Gbaramatu, from here to Agoro Aziz without any security. Even though you see security men somewhere, you will see that it is those indigenous vigilantes that are there safeguarding the waterways. Very peaceful. They know you, they speak your language to you, and you know that these are my brothers. You pass through. That aspect is now. Now, let us also look at what is having a very serious issue on the Niger Delta region. Flooding. Flooding is a major issue to us in the Niger Delta region. Very, very key. And people are not addressing it. When flood comes now, our communities will submerged. And the next thing they bring is they bring gari and granite and some things. The palliatives will not even get to your community.
Yeah.
Some leaders at the urban area will grab all the palliatives and eat them that they have sold them to the community. That is a good problem. For instance, now we have NDDC. And I was talking about leadership. We have NDDC. Now, this flood that has been submerging community, what has NDDC and other parastatals put in place to address this? Okay, for instance, now, Ayakurumo community is a very clear. Bogbone community, Bekobo. Communities are caving into the waters. Communities are caving. But nobody is talking about it. When the flood is over, what they do is to give palliatives to the people.
All right.
But today
thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
Changes will occur.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Because we know that if we do not cut him down, he's going to speak. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure anybody here will have anything to say again. So moving forward to Miss Faith, could you please tell us the challenges, some of the challenges that you think the Niger Delta region is actually going through now?
Okay, thank you very much. And one of the major challenges I think the Niger Delta region is going through is economic hardship. Okay. It's really, really common in the Niger Delta region. Because I can remember one of my very first visits, this is my 4th year in GbaramatuVoice, one of my very first trips to the creeks. There was an oil spill in the community, and we had to go and cover and do certain reports about it. Like, when I saw the children around there, my heart broke. Like, they were looking so malnourished. That's not supposed to be. Do you get? Because we are Niger Delta.
The oil-producing state, the region producing the wealth of the country.
The oil. So why should our children be looking malnourished? Why shouldn't they look robust? Do you get? Like, I don't think it's really bad. Okay, then, talking about economic hardship is really, really big in Niger Delta. There is really nothing there. I'm using water. I can still remember when we went for the flood marriage, Mr. Enaibo. Please tell me the water you use for pepper soup.
It's the same water. It's the same flood water.
Yes. Is it tap water or flood?
Where will you get the water from? The whole community has been submerged. People were living on top of trees, on canoes. So the only water we get is the same water.
Yes.
Because we see most times when we go to these riverine communities, their water, nothing to write home about. We won't find it difficult bathing with that water. How much more drinking?
Okay,
So I think the government should really look into this.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Now, talking about the economic challenges, it is actually disheartening to know that the region who is sustaining the Nigeria economy is actually neglected. And like you said, most of the children are looking malnourished, and it is not supposed to be so. Now it is more like you are in the river and soap is entering your eyes. So I think the people, the authorities, they should do something. The government should do something, and I think this also boils down to the leadership challenges you also raise. Thank you so much for that. Now, moving forward, we will be talking to Mr. No. So please tell us some of the challenges you think the Niger Delta region encounter.
Thank you, Mrs. Agogo. I really appreciate you for this opportunity. I'm speaking out now. I'm speaking. You almost wanted to say all what we had in mind, and I want to say one of the challenges we are facing in Niger Delta is the flooding issue. Several communities and states within the state of Niger Delta, like Anambra, we have Cross River State, we have Bayelsa, we have Delta State. We are facing this flooding issue, and since 2022. When this flood issue came, up till date, we've not had any.
It started in 2012.
I think 2012.
That was the big flood before 2020.
2022. Yeah. Even up till date, we've not had any major for that. And we are still facing, even up till date, we are still facing same. So this is one of the challenges that I felt Niger Delta leaders should go really look into. Is a serious issue, because if flood comes today, our communities are still flooded up to now. So I really want the Niger Delta leaders to tackle it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Anos talked about the floods in the Niger Delta region, and I believe that the authorities behind this, they would also do the needful. Thank you so much. Now, moving forward, we will be talking to Ms. Karina there. Please tell us some of the challenges in the Niger Delta region you have seen.
Okay. I'll be talking about two challenges because they work hand in hand.
Okay.
I'll be talking about poor infrastructure and development, then corruption and mismanagement of funds. So I'll be keen into what our general manager has said, that's leadership. So, and I'll be linking it with corruption and mismanagement of funds. Okay. So in the aspect of leadership, there are most leaders that, there's a certain budget given to your constituency. And at the end of the day, there's nothing to write home about. Okay. Absolutely nothing to write home about. Every single year, there's a release of budget. If you go to the budgeting release, you will see that there are different allocation of budgets and budgeting. For infrastructures, for health, for education, everything, name it. But these things, from January to December, you see absolutely nothing. You see absolutely, especially when it comes to infrastructures, especially when it comes to school, because they only
buy jam form and abandon the people.
You keep on buying jam form, but they don't even have a CBT center to go and write the jam. You see more than 300 students in one jam center from morning till in the evening. How will that child not forget what they've read? When I'm standing under sun, I'm standing under heat, just forms. There's no camera, there's no, I'm saying camera already, sorry, I'm a journalist, but there's no computer in most remote areas, and their budget allocation being released for all these things. So where are the funds going to exactly? When we go to the riverine area, there are no, most times you even see CBT, you don't even see CBT centers. They have to travel to the urban areas, which is quite difficult for them. So you don't even see CBT centers in most riverine area. Just very prestigious people that do it out of their own will to bring out CBT centers, give them jam center too. That was done by an individual. But guess what? Their funds being allocated every single year for infrastructures. So please tell me, where is it going to? And mismanagement of funds. And most of these leaders ought to be held accountable because we can't see where it's heading to. Thank
Okay.
When you say something that they will now trace your family.
All
That's,
right.
My name is Doyenga Karina.
The problem is that by the time when you say, they will now point a finger that this person is talking anyhow, you will be hungry. Nobody will look at you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for stating some of the challenges. Now, to our viewers, is still focused on the Niger Delta on GbaramatuVoiceTV. Yes. Now, this is where we'll talk about. This is where we uncover stories, challenges, and triumphs in the Niger Delta region that is fueling the Nigerian economy. Yes. So, and we've been talking with the GbaramatuVoice team. So, moving forward, we're still talking about the challenges. So, I would like you to also state some of your challenges you think the Niger Delta region is currently experiencing. Yes, so we'd like to see your comment. Please drop your comment on Facebook and YouTube in the comment section. Please drop your comment. Thank you so much. Now, moving forward to the next person, we want you to also tell us the challenges. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Agogo. I believe some of the major challenges that we encounter in the Niger Delta region boils down to the fact that, Niger Delta is a region that is blessed with so many natural resources, most especially crude oil and gas. But when you go to those places or communities that donate a, should I call it, a high level of crude oil supply to the general oil wealth of Nigeria, if you be in doubt as to whether these places are truly the places that supply this amount of crude oil to the country as a whole. So, for instance, boiling it down to communities in Warren local government areas, like, for instance, in Shekaleopolobo community, that's a community that is known for its rich crude oil deposits. But in terms of development infrastructure, you discover that there's nothing to write home about.
Talk about the community is rotting away.
And now the community, because of the fact that the community is closer to the Atlantic Sea, is now rotting away gradually. And the government is not doing anything about it. No. All they're after is our crude oil. And that is a problem. And plus that, you discover that, over time we hear in the news people making so many suggestions and solutions, trying to provide solutions that will address all of this issue. But there's a level of low implementation on these policies. Every time, like almost every day, you see people talking on the TV, preferring solutions, trying to make a way out for people to curb these menaces. But you discover that there's a lack of implementation. We always see planning, we always see budgets that have been allocated for such kind of stuff, but when you go to those places, yet nothing is done.
Yes.
Or better still, when you even go to some places, you see abandoned projects. And there are no waters in such places, there are no food. They don't even care if people are dying. All they care about is during election time, maybe they will go there with few palliatives, trying to lure the people for their political gains. And after that, there's nothing to write home about. And this has posed a big threat on the Niger Delta region.
Yes.
Because it seems we are only valued for our natural resources and not for our personal lives as well. So we are calling on the government and every other stakeholder that is in a position to try to address one or two of these things so that the region can be, developed, can become standard. If you go to some villages now...
Who are those people in the government? Is the brothers?
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll
So we'll call them.
And so we are calling on our councillors, our senators, our local government chairmen, even the governors.
Yes.
To look down on these issues because they are posing a threat on lives and people, are dying of hunger. So many bad things are happening, sicknesses everywhere because of these crude oil exploration problems. So please, the government should look into all of this.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, you talked about, he said something about, yes, the councillors and everything. Now, it actually begins from the ground. It's very easy to blame the government. It's very easy to blame those at the top. But how about those that the people have chosen to represent them? Are they well represented from the grassroots? So these are the questions.
Corruption
yes,
is at every door.
Yes, it starts from the grassroots. So let's start holding people accountable to the challenges facing the Niger Delta region. Thank you so much. Now, moving forward, we'll be talking to Mr. David. So please quickly tell us some of the challenges the Niger Delta region experienced. So just 1 minute, please.
Okay, thank you very much. And I also thank GbaramatuVoiceTV again for this privilege to address some of the challenges we are facing in the Niger Delta region. So we won't talk much. I want to just talk about something that is very, very crucial, which is about insecurity. So I've been privileged to be a presenter in this great media center. So most of the times when we are reading about this our news, we read more about insecurity. I want to talk about this insecurity. Which of this area used to face this insecurities, this Delta state. Recently, we read about a story that happened in Ogwashuku about this unknown gunmen that will go to church to harass people and just they kidnap the pastor, they kidnap the members of the church, and they also injured the pastor in that, which was not really okay at all. And my colleague here, Faith, was also part of the program that particular morning when we were addressing this issue. They kidnapped the pastor in the church. And
it's not a first-time incident.
Yes, it's not a first-time incident.
It's a real occurrence.
It happens every time.
Back to back, both students are victims.
Yeah, so if
students is their major target.
Yes, students are
back
major
to
targets.
back.
Always
and
kidnapping.
The government, the authorities, just like Beautiful said, that starting from the grassroots, even the community leaders, they've done nothing about it.
Yeah, so insecurity is one of the major issues that the Niger Delta people they are really facing, and we can't call us oil-rich people and we are being harassed by what we call unknown gunmen. It doesn't sound sweet. Wait, what do you mean by unknown gunmen coming to harass people? So it's not really sweet at all. So we
yes,
we don't know them.
Okay.
So
That's why they are unknown.
Yes, unknown
Do you know
gunmen.
them?
We don't know them.
I think that's more reason why they should be fished out.
So sorry, so let me just add one. We also have issues of this earth farmers, Fulani herdsmen. When we talk of Abraka, how they've, they are now like dominating the Abraka people. They can just wake up one day, invade your community, and you won't even see anybody in there. They won't be university.
Like all our farms are invaded by herdsmen. I think it should not be now.
You have a farm. All our farms. Do you have a farm?
She's the voice of the voiceless. So when she said all our farms, she's actually talking for the Niger Delta.
Something happened recently. When people were coming back from Torogbane Aziz or Bumondi Aziz, what happened is that journalists, people like Comrade Osno Zobu, there were 5 of them. Their motor breakdown. What happened? What they saw is beyond what anybody can explain. Herdsmen have crowded them and collect all their phones. And people were talking. Before it has a reoccurring decimal every time. Bomonde as or a road is a very is a flashpoint, so to say. So people should look at insecurity within the ambit of the herdsmen who are parading with the cows. They should look at it carefully. But some persons are not just carrying cows; they are transporting things that we don't know. So that security consciousness within the Niger community leaders, because this is a call for community leaders to have a local vigilante in their own communities. Local vigilantes and hunters. Let them look out for who is coming to their territory. If it is a foreigner, they should hold those persons. Why are you here for? Because there is a time we need to take actions in our various communities. Who is coming? Who is that foreigner? What are you doing in this forest?
Yes,
people are in the name of cutting woods in our communities, and they are setting up all the areas. Before you know now, dangers everywhere.
Yes.
So insecurity.
Talking about that, I think I saw a footage of the Fulani herdsmen with their cattle, and then they were uprooting people's cassava, giving it to the cattle, like with so much. I'm like, what's going on? These are people's livelihood, and now are they the second citizen of the country? This is really disheartening.
All our farmers are being threatened.
They
honestly
are threatened.
speaking.
And of course,
speaking of economic hardship, if our farmers can't go to farm, what
I
do you
was about
have to
going
say?
to that. Yes,
What
and
do you
that's
have
why.
to say?
Like, if you ask those who farm Gary cassava, they will tell you that they don't let us farm, and that's why the few people who risk their lives to go, they have to put it on the high side
because they take big risks
doing
that.
Okay, so thank you so much for that. We're running out of time, but we'll quickly get to everyone. So, Mr. Jumiri, could you please tell us some of the challenges in the Niger Delta region?
Yes, thank you. Without wasting time, let me just go straight to the point. What I observe is leadership.
He's always observing.
Yes, it's leadership. Because we have been hearing that budget has been allocated to states, and when you look at, let me say, straight to my state, Ondo State, you will observe that a community that we have a local government chairman does not have a hospital, and the local government chairman cannot even do anything about it. And in such situations, it looks like as if we are not doing democracy anymore. It's just that, as our former president has just said today on our Beyond the Headline program, we are not following in line of the democracy, because if we are putting it to practice, I don't expect a community that is producing oil. You will not see, you will actually, it is very difficult for you to see that such community is developing. And coming to this Araromi seaside flood issue, since when I was working in OSRC and Orange FM in 2014, we went there to cover an event that there is a flood there. We got there and we observed that the flood was coming gradually. But in 2022, when I got there, the places that we even walked to get informations, they are not there. Those houses are not there again, because government has not put in the proper money. Yes, into that community. So it's really affecting the people that are living in that community. So I want to use this opportunity to call the state government, the Ayedatiwa current government, to look into that matter, because you cannot just leave people that when flood comes, they will now be homeless. It's like, as my colleague just said, also patani, all those things. State governments should do something. You cannot just leave people. When it comes to election, you will come and they will vote for you. After voting, you will now leave them. You will make all sorts of promises that after once I become the governor, I will do this. After then, nothing.
Okay.
So governments should do something else. We will vote against them.
Yes, thank you so much.
Most of our
Yes.
communities
Talking about leadership, yes.
most of our communities in the Niger Delta region, they lack basic amenities. You know,
Yes.
just like he's saying, the community chairmans, they should see to that. They should ensure that they do all they can.
Yes.
Like most communities we go to, the Ogbimbri, I can remember we going to that community and their health center is nothing to write home about. The school is nothing to write home about.
You know that
I
there are
think
some villages that don't even have health centers at all.
Okay, so
what do you?
yes, thank you so much. Yes, so thank you.
Even birth at home, they give birth on the canoe while traveling to the city.
My God.
And we call those children Arokazi.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Miss Precious, could you please tell us some of the challenges encountered by Niger Delta region?
Yes, I am going to talk about two things: unemployment and insecurity. The level of unemployment in Delta State is alarming, especially amongst young people. It is so crazy that people go to school and they acquire education for a certain period of time, and they graduate at the end of the day, and there are no job opportunities offered to them.
Now, you don't depend on the government for employment. Government is not depending on how young people are employing themselves. That is the stage we are now.
Yes.
But it is appalling.
Yes,
go ahead, ma'am.
It is very appalling that there are no job opportunities for young people and even middle-aged people. Most of them, they don't have jobs in the Niger Delta region. And also, talking about insecurity, there are some areas here in Warri that you cannot walk around 9, as early as 9 p.m., as early as 8 p.m. You cannot go anywhere because you are scared that somebody is going to nab you and collect your phone or beat you, or stuff like that. Yes. So there is the alarming rates of insecurity in Niger Delta. Yeah.
I think there is something I would need to add to before you take over. And there is one
more person. She has to say her challenges that you can.
Okay.
She hasn't that. So, Miss Bestolowo, could you please tell us some of the challenges you think the Niger Delta region encounter?
All right. Maybe initially I wasn't like I wanted to talk about my grievances, so I just quickly jumped into it. Yes,
now,
because I was
now you have grabbed. All right.
Well, talking about the challenges facing the Niger Delta region. Well, we have so many states facing the talking about the Niger Delta region. But me, I'm talking about something that actually concerns me, personally. Now, where I'm from, I want to, in fact, I'm very, very angry about it because now the Ilaje community, like I said earlier, in Ondo State, now that is a Niger Delta state. But in fact, that community has been marginalized. Now is one of the community that is an oil producing community in Ondo State. In fact, being one of the richest community, but they lack infrastructure. They lack good road. Have you seen the state of road in that community? People cannot travel. Even the rivers, and obviously, the community, one of their major occupation is fishing. They are known for fishing.
But due to
now, a commoner cannot even fish in the community. Now, for over how many years, there is no electricity. Now, a normal person in that community cannot even, I don't even think, maybe children that they have given birth to now, maybe
knows what
is called electricity. In fact, and that is one of the oil-producing community in Ondo State. Now, the truth is that we are all in this Niger Delta region, but government policies and projects only focus in the southern, Niger Delta states, like the River State, Delta State, Bayelsa State, and all
is
that.
That what?
Now we are all,
listen, wait.
We are all in the Niger Delta region. But I'm talking about my own.
Talk about your own.
Yes.
Don't feel that because others are benefiting. No, you don't know my story. You don't know my story.
I am speaking.
No, it's not true.
Now we
are you telling me?
Go to Sokoto. I am talking about my own personal one. This is what.
No, we are talking about because what she's saying is
that
Delta State.
The fact that people are benefiting that
I am just telling you that I cannot speak on behalf of any other. I'm talking about my own personal one.
Okay, they understand. Okay, but hold on, please. Please hold on. We understand the fact that you are trying to portray from the grievance. But the thing is this. Hold on. Can you please hold on for a minute? But the thing, can you please hold on for a minute? But I think you could also hear the rest people when they were talking about the challenges, especially in the Niger Delta, and there were also issues of infrastructure development and malnourishment.
You talk about your own. You don't know what our own people are facing too. So sit in your own.
You see my community as a case. I'm just trying to tell you that the way other Niger Delta region, this is wrong. This is wrong. Challenges also facing the Niger Delta region.
Best, let me draw.
So this is my own point of view. You can shut it out.
We all sympathize with you that your community has.
I am just trying to bring out the point that the way the other southern Niger Delta region are benefiting, but they are not benefiting like this.
Best, can I surprise you?
The other state has been marginalized.
But can I surprise you? Do you know that Polubo community shares boundary with Ilazo community?
Yes.
But this same thing that you have complained of that you are experiencing in Ilazo community, we have same experiences too.
Yes.
And we are complaining. So don't feel that because they are not doing for you, doesn't mean that they are doing for you.
Comparing it now. I'm just trying to bring out grievances.
It's never powered by the community. We don't have a standby light. Our light that we see maybe once in a blue moon.
Let us come
you can't
back.
Let us come back.
Light has never shined in your community before.
Thank you.
Do you have any more? Do you have any other thing to say?
No. Let me share this experience. Sometimes when you feel that all is well with the other person, until you
the grass is always greener on the other side.
You don't know what they are going through.
You don't know what they are going through.
You don't know what they are going through.
You cannot feel that all is well with me because you are not in what I'm passing through. You might not know, except I speak out. Yes. So one thing is that we are talking about Niger Delta challenges. It's not community is exceptional. Don't feel that somebody is experiencing small things. Okay, there is light in the upland. What about the riverine communities? Yeah. We are from the riverine communities. What we see, we're supposed to see tangible development in our own region. But what we see is the oil. I went to Lagos, to Pan Atlantic University under Chevron. Do you know what happened? Now, your community you are talking about, that is the first thing we started, leadership. There are some persons in your community that oil companies are pumping money for development. But they are busy staying in the upland, in the big cities. And they are not coming to the communities to do what is necessary. So by the time when you look inward and ask questions, no oil company is not giving the community the money. What they do is that, okay, forget about the money, give us what we will carry come out. That is the Ghana must go they are taking. Go back to the community that, yes, I was in Lagos for Pan-Atlantic University. Then when you talk to oil companies, they will tell you that, look, it is not sometimes our fault. It is the people. What they okay, this is the money. Excuse me. This is the money for this community. What do we do? There is what we call scale of preference. What do we do? So we media we suggest that there should be a town hall meeting in the community. Okay, there should be a town hall community. Oil companies. Okay, what do you want in Niger?
Okay, sir. You went a step ahead of what we're about talking about.
Okay,
so
now
excuse me. Talking about solutions.
Yes, thank you. Okay, let me talk about this one before we talk about the solution. Now, the one other challenge that I find out in the Niger Delta region is blackmailing. Yeah. Now, brothers who manage to find themselves into politics or into position, the next minute you will see blackmail. This person have stole this person have stole this one have. That will not help the Niger Delta region. It's becoming so rampant. Yeah. Leadership drop, pull him down syndrome in the Niger Delta is becoming an issue. How do you expect somebody, okay, for instance, now, we are here now. We are all journalists. Somebody find struggles and become appointed into the government. What we need to do is to create a platform how we can encourage such persons with a blueprint that if you do this, you will be remembered for this. If you do this, we'll do. But the next thing we'll go is to call the media, bring him back home. These things in the Niger Delta is becoming so rampant. If care is not taken, before you know now, brothers will fight brothers. Yeah. Sisters will fight brothers. So my advice to Niger Delta youths and leaders, let us, that greed of if not be me, it not going to be anybody, it will not help us in leadership. Because the government is also looking. Not with their brothers, they call them. Not with their brother. It's something that has been a concern to me. It's a very threatening something. But at a point, you will get to see that no government will not appoint our brothers anymore. They will decide to bring somebody from far away place to come and monitor or take office. For instance, NDDC. You don't expect a northerner to become the chairman of NDDC. It doesn't work that way. Yes. So let us look into that aspect of blackmailing and look a way forward for progress.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome here on the platform and on the topic focusing on the Niger Delta region. Yes, and we've been able to highlight some of the challenges ranging from insecurities to unemployment to leadership, governance, and so much more. About the challenges the Niger Delta faces. Now, in all of this, we are looking for solutions and the way forward. Now, Miss Faith, could you please tell us now how do you think that the role, what is the role of the media in curbing some of this menace? Yes, what do you think is the role of the media in all of this? Yes.
Thank you very much. I think the media should actually continue the good work. The Niger Delta, let me just use this opportunity to call more on the medias in the Niger Delta region. Just like we've earlier said, no one can tell our stories more than
yes.
So what we should do, let us project our stories more, push our stories, put our stories out there, put our challenges out there. Let it get tiring for the government. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Mr. Anos, quickly, now, could you please tell us now, how can the media reporting drive change in the Niger Delta? How can the media reporting drive a positive change in the Niger Delta region? Yes.
In my own opinion, one of the things that the media need to do to drive and change to tell the world what is really happening in the Niger Delta. Some of us, like our brother will always say sometime, let's not look just only the envelope, because if you look at the envelope alone, you cannot tell the story just the way the story is. So let's go beyond the envelope and talk about the story just like the way the story is.
All right, thank you so much. So I'll be coming to you, Mr. Ojumiri. So what do you think is the position of the journalist in portraying the image of the Niger Delta in the positive light?
I think journalists, it is very crucial that when they observe that news need to be published, they must put it in a way that they will not be biased. Like, there is something I observed that when you look at a Yoruba man reporting his Yoruba news, you will hardly see the bad side of it because they project their interests. So in Niger Delta, for us to have a report that will be in benefits of the Niger Delta is to be an accurate level of reporting, and at the same time report it in a way that how the story come about. I think that is how you can able to tell the story and also the problem that the community or the state is facing. I think from there, government, though there are most time when you report, government will not listen, but I think you will keep reporting. One day they will hear.
All right, so thank you so much. So Miss Best, I'm coming to you now. Do you think the media storytelling, the story and the challenges of the people, do you think it has led to any action? Do you think it has given a positive impact regarding the challenges of the Niger Delta?
Yeah, obviously, to a very large extent, I would say the media has actually played a crucial role in, talking about the challenges and all of that. Because, there are some communities we don't even, I personally, I don't even know of. Most times it is the media that has done these works, going into communities. In fact, sometimes when I hear of these communities, I'll be like, is this community existing? Most times it is the media that has, brought out those informations, reach those people. Now, there are some people in some communities that they don't even know that these things are existing. Things like this are some. They are just in would I call it a cage? In some places. In fact, they don't even know, they don't know basic, like, new technologies and all of that. So, in fact, the media has actually helped in, bringing out these issues, showcasing these people to, audience or people outside of those regions and all of that. So, in fact, the media has actually played a huge role. I would actually say it has played a huge role in these issues.
Oh, thank you so much. We're about to draw the curtain here, but before we go, we would like to take a look at some of the comments we have here on Facebook. Yeah, so Adebayo Toby is saying insecurity is insecurity, especially in the waterways. Okay, yeah. So Owotubo Patrick is saying no unity. What does it mean by no unity? On which part now? In the Niger Delta. Okay, so we also have another comment here who is saying it's from Honorio there to me, and he says the waterways is secured. I really want to plead for the government to try and do the same in land. The robbery, herdsmen, and kidnapping is becoming too much in the landways. Yes, thank you so much for that. Yes, you wanted to say something, sir?
I think before we draw the curtains, I think if we have come to the peak of our discussions, there are things that I would like to share, like the questions you were asking. It's very crucial that we point it out. The media, particularly the GbaramatuVoice media organization, have played a very crucial part in changing the narrative in the Niger Delta region. Before now, we were being denigrated. We were being a lot of prejudice stories about the Niger Delta people, very violent people, the Niger Delta people, troublesome and all of it. Niger Delta people are very hospitable people. When you look at it very carefully, for instance now, before now, people feel that the cultural activities that were taking place in our regions were effective. People use humans' blood for sacrifice and all of it. These things were perceptions from people. But now you can see they go to various communities and their festivals. You know what they do? They carry out a very peaceful festival where people are coming from far and near to celebrate their cultural value. That is one special aspect of the GbaramatuVoice. That previous assumption of festivals they are doing human blood and all of it is the media. There is media everywhere covering their cultural activities. So that negative story, that negative perception is now a thing of the past. You see that people do their drumming,
pray to their deities and offer their prayers and petitions, pour libations to the ancestors, and do a lot of prayers, like the way Christians are pouring the holy oil on ground that bound. That is how the traditionalist has also prayed, pouring their ogogoro on the ground, giving drinks to the ancestors for protection and guidance. So now, the Gbaramatu Voice constant coverage of the traditional aspect of the Niger Delta has taken a very special aspect of our cultural values and identity. And for instance, now, our chief government or Governor Wezi Ekpompolo, who has played a critical part of reviving the traditional values in the Niger Delta region. People are conscious. Because, for instance, now, the story of the prodigal son, you know the story? He returned back to his father. That is the consciousness of the African people, the Ijaw people, the Niger Delta people. Now, we came from somewhere. Before the coming of the Western religion, we were Africa. You are aware? Yes. Africa. There is a way, and we are tuned to God Almighty, the Creator. But after some time, there was a shift. Now people are coming back. No, let us go back to that. Before that time, if you go to our communities, no house without doors and windows. There was no security threat. You drop your phone there in our communities free. But when our God is a forgiving Father comes now, they started stealing and say that God has forgiven you and all of it. No, in the time past, now when you go back to, you enjoy it, because by the time when you, for instance, this year Masikumo Festival is just around the corner. By the time when you get there, you see the beauty of cultural heritage the Gbaramatu Voice is projecting to the world. We know our roots, and our root is our identity. So the media have played a very crucial part in not just only talking about our poor situations, how we're being marginalized, but we were able to showcase the rich cultural values of our own people. Zibaporu. These are things that people have not known.
Okay,
but
all right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes. So moving forward, Ms. Faith, would you like to give us your final thoughts on the challenges and just round up with your final words on all what we've been discussing about? Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All I have to say is to call on our community leaders, local government leaders. Like, there's one thing I've always believed in as much as we call on the president, we call on them from the higher position of leadership, I think our leaders in the grassroots have more. Yes. More
we need to hold them accountable.
Yes. Because of course, the president will not always have the time to always come down to our communities.
He can't tell the story more than the councillor.
Yes. So they are the ones that should project, that should push forward for these changes. You get? They should be the ones to push forward for these changes. They should work harder, and they're trying, but they should try more.
Try harder.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So your final words are, Mr. Onos.
I want to say our leaders should be intentional in whatever they do. Let us not be like what our ex-president, Governor President Goodluck said. He said that it's very difficult to wake somebody that is pretending to sleep.
It is easier to wake someone sleeping than waking someone pretending to sleep. Yes.
Yeah. So let us be intentional in whatever that we are doing. Let us not pretend that we don't know what we are doing. Like what he meant is they all know what they are doing. Yeah. Please let us, my own opinion, they should please do what is right. They should not pretend that they don't know what they are doing.
All right. Thank you so much. So, Ms. Precious, your final words.
I am going to say this for citizens. I feel like more citizens should come out in mass and hold the government responsible. Like, hold them to accountability. People need to be accountable, take accountability for their actions. And I feel like if more people come out and, press on the issues that we are facing as Nigerians, as Niger Deltans, and hold them accountable to their actions and inactions, I feel like we would see more positive changes in our regions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So, Mr. Jumiri, your last words, please.
Voila. As the program is coming to an end, I want to use this medium to say that you remember that we are the one that vote for you, and it is the grassroots that votes for you. So in whatever thing that you want to do, always remember that a day is coming that you will still go back to them and seek for their support. So please, I want to beg you, do the needful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That's more like a stand warning. Do the needful. Yes, so your final words, Mr. David.
Yes, thank you very much for this last opportunity. So I'm calling it a day shortly. Yeah. Okay, yes. So just want to encourage all media outlets or every media personnel to keep on doing the good work, keep on projecting every issue the way it is, not to be biased. Don't try to, try to romance the story or try to project it in a way that it is not. Just give it to the world the way it is. And I believe one day, because even one day they say one saying that when nights come, day must see break. Yes. There's one day they must see break. There will be revolution. Things are going to change. So it's just an encouragement for all media outlets to not be discouraged. Despite the fact that things are not going well, just know that one day things are going to move well. So that's just all I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So, Mr. Joel, could you please tell us your last words?
Okay, thank you. To start with, I believe the media is playing a crucial role in trying to address some of these environmental and community issues around the Niger Delta. And I personally applaud them for that. And to also say some of our leaders, do in the name of the community, bargain with companies, take a lot of money and flying their families abroad, they themselves going abroad, and the places they are running to are places that are developed by human beings like them. So you should not look at Dubai, London, more than your home community, because that's where you came from. So you shouldn't use their money to go to those places that other people use their own money to develop and neglect your own place. So leaders should, of course you eat, but focus more on why you are there, why you are sent there, so that the people that you are serving will not starve and they will not be regretting by the end of the day that, the person that we voted for or the people that we elected into offices did not take cognizance of what we are going through. So leaders should not just think of flying abroad every now and then and neglect the people that they are called to serve. Remember, you are a public servant. You are called to serve the people and not to serve your own self, neither your family. So please, our leaders should take that into cognizance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Ms. Karinade, please, your last words.
Okay, thank you. The Niger Delta has been the backbone of Nigerians' economy, and yet we still suffer a neglect, poverty, and pollution. So my final words to them is that how long are we going to watch our waters go black and the government will pay a blind eye to that? How long are we going to watch very big companies come to our communities, but yet there's no hospital, there's no school, there's no basic, simple education, there's no board for these children to write and learn and develop themselves? How long shall we continue to suffer in silence? So I'm not just only calling on the president, I'm also calling on the local leaders. I'm also calling on the community leaders. I'm also calling on oil companies. You can do better.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Ms. Bess, could you please give us your last words on the challenges?
All right, just like most of my colleagues have said, talking about political representation and all of that. In fact, we need effective, all I can say is we need effective political representation. Don't just because you want, for your own selfish pockets, you want to be a leader, you want to be a chairman of one community just for your own pocket. Have the people at mind, have the interests of the people at mind. Now, from what GM said earlier, when I was talking about community in Ondo State and all of that, it could also boil to the fact that some of these leaders are not actually, making this thing flow. That is why some of the communities are actually suffering and all of that. Precisely. So it is still effective political representation, our leaders needs to do better. Have the people at mind, have the interests of the people at mind. Yes, when obtaining a political, position and all of that.
Best, let me add to what you.
Could you tell us? Give us your last words, sir. Just round up with your last words.
All right, Best, as you were saying, I was reflecting back to Benikurukuru community, where the role of Mr. Mantu Tonla in community development is just one man who has created impact in the community. If you get to Benikurukuru community, you will love to go back to your village and start up becoming home conscious, because somebody else have traveled abroad and have seen the glory and returned back to his community and do the same thing that is the upland.
Yes, but one man can do it all. One man cannot handle the job.
People should be home conscious.
Yes.
Get the money. Come back to your community. Like what every new year, what all the people in Benikurukuru community in Gbaramatu, they are happy. Do you know what? Somebody is not taking the pain. It is our money. Let us bring back this money to the people.
Money. If not everything, just come back with
and feel it. And another thing is that in Delta State there is what we refer as Riverine Development Commission that has been created. Since the creation, I've not heard anything about it.
Exactly.
At all.
I've not heard anything about it.
Impact.
I think that will be a discussion for another day. What Right Honorable Sheriff Oboro created, because there is what we call Urban Development Commission that has been created, and no, my pikin who go there. So at the end of it, the pikin when we say say you not go go do anything, they go appoint them for there.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's not doing anything and nobody is questioning
Yes.
it. That is what is happening. So people should be conscious, whatever position you have been given, work effectively to make sure that the people feel the impact. So the media, we as the media, we will discuss about these issues
expose all of
as
them.
watchdog. What is this commission created for? If it's not working, let them scrap it. Call it another name, and let people who will work will go there and do the work.
Exactly.
So that is a very special aspect as a media organization that will be watchful and tell the story the way it is. Those who are not working will tell you that you are not working. Those who are working will applaud them for making sure that they are doing their work. So we should not clap for those who are not working. We will clap for those who are working. That is a way to encouraging people to do more. That's just my own aspect of the contribution.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our Gbaramatu Voice team. It's been awesome on this platform, on the focus on the Niger Delta region. Of course, this is where we've been uncovering stories and triumphs and challenges in the Niger Delta region. I hope you had a nice time listening to us, and of course, you had the opportunity to also share your views too. This is a program that has come to stay in Baramatu Voice TV. Thank you so much. You've heard it all from our team members talking about the challenges in the Niger Delta: flooding, governance, corruption, leadership, poor infrastructural development, and security concerns that has been raised, and of course economic hardship. We need to emphasize more on economic hardship, because the Niger Delta cannot be the fuel that is fueling the Nigerian economy. Yet we are suffering. It's not. It is disheartening. It's and I think
that's suffering in the big English. Say we know the seafood the shop.
Yes, and it's so painful that we cannot even have access to good quality education. Look at our children and all of that. Now, sorry, I would like to round up with this. A friend of mine, a family member actually, who lives the United Arab Emirates, and she was saying that over there, those who are the citizens over there, they hardly work. And I'm like, why? He said, because they are rich. And I said, so because they are rich, who made them rich? He said, because they pay them for coming from there as a human being. Like, you came from there, that's just all, and you're being paid. And now, so what happens to having those kind of benefits? Yes, in the Niger Delta region, like, you're just from being in the Niger Delta region, there should be certain benefits that I believe should come.
Our own benefit is pollution.
The region. So I believe the necessary stakeholders, everyone listening to this will also do the needful. Thank you once again for joining us on today's episode on Focus on the Niger Delta. Get well to get involved in our next episode, which will be coming up. We'll be giving you information.
Much bigger.
Yes, and it will be bigger and better than this. So from all of us at GbaramatuVoiceTV, and of course from me, Agogo Iniko, your host, and all of us at GbaramatuVoice, can we just do something to our audience? Just do something.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye.